All right, so now comes the best part. We're wiping the car down with some eraser, being careful not to jack up the paint, but I just added it up. I have, you know, between Bradley and me, I have 15 hours of polishing. And then take and add another roughly 4 hours of prep to get to polishing. So I'm at, what, 19 hours? So not too bad, depending on how you're keeping score. So you got 15 hours of polishing, 19 hours total. We probably have another, I probably have another 4 or 5 hours to go between Collinite and dialing in the trim and the windows and all that stuff. But the rest of it's fun. But my very, very favorite part is coming up here in a minute when we put PowerLock on, let it sit for, I don't know, 20 minutes. And then the best part of all is taking PowerLock off. So if you're not familiar, this is CarPro Eraser. It's like a degreaser. It removes the polish residue so that we get a good bond with our last step, sealant wax. So despite the fact that we had some scratches and swirls and issues to deal with, the car looks better than it ever has. I mean, this is my best work thus far. Just, you know, learning how to handle a polisher properly, and then, you know, Bradley going over and checking my work, and, you know, grabbing the few spots that I overlooked, you know, looking at it with a different eye. And so the car looks great. You know, we still have some rash from the mountains in the front. So the front bumper, I think what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to have the front bumper repainted too. I mean, I'm going to go to the same guys that did the rear. The rear is dialed, man. I mean, the match is spot on. There's some orange peel, which we fixed here, but I'll take that any day over not color matching. So this is obviously a step you need to be careful with. Did you do this side of the hood? No? Or roof?
No, not from the roof.
The last thing we want to do is scratch that 15 hours worth of work. It's like every time I look, there's another bug on the thing. Yeah. Good old Florida. Not only Florida, but we're in the darn woods. If you'd have told me when I was your age that I'd be living in on 6 acres in Lady Lake, Florida, I said, you're freaking nuts. Oh, shoot. I got a Dr. Colorchip that spot real quick while you're power locking it. I'll hit that real quickly. All right, so now we're prepped. All right, well, that's cool. Well, Bradley just blew up the Collinite. I swear, you know, finally we're gonna get through that bottle. I've had it for freaking 12 years or something like that. So what we're gonna do is Jescar PowerLock Plus, or, you know, Menzerna PowerLock Plus and Jescar. I don't want to get into the whole story of what's Jescar versus Menzerna, but just call it Menzerna PowerLock Plus. It's a little thicker formula than the traditional, the old school PowerLock. So what we're going to do is just apply it with a, you know, with a microfiber terry block, or microfiber block, and just apply it to the car, and then we'll let it sit for 20 minutes or so, and then wipe it off. While Bradley's applying it to the car, I like to do this by hand rather than by machine. I don't want to improve or increase the odds of messing something up, all this work we did to get the paint corrected. So I'm going to do it by hand. It takes an extra 3 minutes to do, and then we'll wipe it off. While he's doing that, I'm going to do A quick little Dr. Colorchip fix on this spot here that was underneath the what was that? That was underneath the clear film on the side. All right, so here's our spot right here. There's a couple of other ones. So that spot was from a rock hitting the clear film, going through the clear film, and then creating that issue. And so what we do with Dr. Colorchip, we take the blue paint, dab our little brush in here, put it right next to it, and then we rub it in with our thumb. Thing here. So you rub it right over top and then you wipe it. And then we come back over it with our supplied little towel, which is in my hand, the Seal-Act. Oh, shoot. And then we wipe it. Sometimes I find I need to go back and do another quick layer, because sometimes the Seal-Act will take it out of the spot, out of the chip, because that one was pretty substantial, pretty deep. And then I grab a microfiber and just follow it up. So your thumb kind of flattens it out. It's not sticking in there very well. And again, this isn't like a perfect solution. It's not like painting the car, but it works pretty well for what it is. It's a pretty genius little system. And then we'll put our PowerLock right over top of that. Certainly looks better than what it looked like before. So that's our spot right there. So it doesn't, it doesn't fill as much as just covers. So that's the Dr. Colorchip. So we're rolling through some PowerLock. All right, where are you at? Did you do this?
No, I didn't do the door, I stopped.
Okay.
Is that fender too thin, too thick? Good?
It's good to me. Yeah, this stuff you really can't mess up, you know. You ever done PowerLock before?
Yeah, but a long time ago. And I haven't applied like a paste or like a liquid sealant in a while, so.
Yeah. I love this stuff. I keep coming back to it. Gotta coat it, man. 9H. I need some like 8 layers to make it 10H.
Yeah.
17H. If I had at least 16 layers, then it won't scratch, and I will never have to wash it. Water will just, dirt will just fall off. It's like magic.
Also, with that many layers, it gets rid of the orange peel because it is built on top of it.
Yeah, I just saw that. I never heard that one before. I just saw that yesterday on the Obsessed Garage group. That's pretty good. I want that. As long as their chemist says that it's good. Yeah, because all these companies don't buy their stuff from Southeast Asia and then put their name on it. They actually mix it up in their lab. This is such a letdown. It's like, you know, I'm not even tired and cranky yet. You did the headlights and taillights too?
I did the headlights.
All right, good. Yeah, just don't do the windows, but. All right, where are we at? Rear bumper?
Yeah, like the rear wing area.
All right, best part. Let's do it. Removing PowerLock. Oh, I love it. Comes off like butter. So bright out I can't even see what I'm doing. So again, as usual, I'll do my 1 coat of PowerLock, 2 coats of Collinite, and my lesson learned is get some more on the car periodically because I jacked up the paint. Also, we found a few pieces of drywall in the towel, so make sure you check them, because this step is the most important. At least the most important for making sure you don't have stuff in your towel. So we're going to go around the car and wipe it down. All right, so last step on the paint. Man, this solution finish, this stuff is freaking awesome, man. Assuming it lasts forever or lasts a while, it looks great. I'm gonna put woofs over top of that, so it should look, hopefully it looks amazing. But I just wanted to test that while I was waiting for the PowerLock to dry, and I want to make sure I don't get the Collinite on the trim. But this is our good old standby Collinite 845. Really pretty simple. Don't use a ton of it. Just kind of prime the pad a little bit here. Just get a few spots, and then we're gonna do this on the entire car. This is just some crappy Amazon pad. And so you don't need to put a ton of this on. If you put tons on, then it just makes it harder to get off. So right here I have too much. So we're going to go around and do the entire car. And so I'll do a layer of this. I'll park it overnight, and I'll do another layer tomorrow, probably after, you know, after the gym or something. I'll run out here and throw a layer on, and then I'll have two coats. And then, like I said in the very beginning of this, I'm going to do a better job of making sure that I keep the paint protected. So I keep this on the car, and I want to be careful that I don't want to get this on my new corrected trim. So this isn't rocket science. Just put a thin layer on, go around the entire car. By the time I get back around, so by the time I get the entire car covered in this, it'll be time to remove it. So that's a Collinite application. So as I'm sitting here putting 845 on, I'm just anticipating the questions and the comments that will come from this. You know, why in the world would you do Collinite 845 when there's all these coatings and fancy stuff that's available? And then why not? Or why not reflex, ammo reflex skin and cream? Why not do it on this car like you did on the GT350? You know, I don't have like some super fantastic, you know, well thought out answer. It's just, this stuff just works, man. It looks fantastic. It feels fantastic. It lasts a long time. It's just good, man. It's just really, really good. And so before you go drawing conclusions and blaming, you know, the reason why I needed to compound the car, start blaming it on 845. I mean, this stuff failed a long time ago. I actually had skin and cream on the car. I just kind of slapped it on there just as a temporary something. That was probably 6 months ago. And then of course we had all the issues with the harness and the mouse and all that crap. And so, you know, the part of the reason why I think the car needed compounded, you know, one, it's never been done to it. And then I just neglected it a bit too much. But shoot, if once every 3 years you have to go in and correct the paint, I think we'll be just fine. But this stuff, again, the combination of this and PowerLock, like if you could see it in person, and feel it in person, you'd know why. Looks very different than a coating. Plus, I don't want to put a coating on this car because I don't want to be stuck with it forever. I want to be able to change if I want to. That permanence or semi-permanence of a coating just doesn't interest me on a car like this. Plus, you know, I enjoy doing this. Even though I'm 23 hours into this or whatever I'm into, 22 hours into this process, it's still something I really enjoy doing. Let me get a towel and wipe this out. I like doing the jams as well. At least this part of it. And then I'll treat the rest of it with showroom shine or something like that. So I just finished up the whole car. Let me check and make sure towels are good. And then Collinite comes off pretty easily, as long as you don't put it on too thick. It doesn't come off as easily as PowerLock, but I mean PowerLock comes off easier than anything else on the planet, I think. So generally, you know, again, by the time I get back around and to where I started, I'm able to just do the removal then. Gosh, gosh, I love this stuff, man. I'm telling you. The depth, clarity, it's so good. Doesn't hurt that it's 18 bucks a bottle. Certainly doesn't hurt. So anyway, that's the Collinite application. I'm going to go around and wipe this off. Because what happens when the force pulls you back, your foot naturally comes off the gas. You have to keep your foot to the floor.